Why did you pick that? Because there is a distinct reason why we pick each rule. I kind of gave it away there. Oh, but why though? You can't just infer it from what I'm saying. That's not how it works. Unless you didn't and it was a coincidence. Oh, okay, good. There you go. That's right, Hassan. Well done. Guys, remember, there are 2 rules that you learn, or 3 rules you learn. You learn trigonometry, so SOHCAHTOA. You use Pythag, okay? And then you use sine rule. And you use cosine rule. So there's 3 things you could have possibly, 4 things you could have picked here. So from these, Pythag and trig is only for right angles, right? Is this a right angle triangle? Clearly not. Sine rule is when you need pairs. So what do I mean by pairs? That means 2 right angles. Sorry, no. 2 angles and 2 lengths. Do I have that going on here? Am I working with 2 angles and 2 lengths? And for cosine rule, you're working with 3 sides or 3 lengths and 1 angle. So 1 angle and 3 lengths. So which one am I using, guys? You need to know. Why do I write angles 3 times? Sides. Well done. So I need to use cosine rule here. Yeah, clearly. So this is what I use. So trig and Pythag, only right angles. So it can't be that. Sine rule is for pairs. So 2 angles or 2 lengths. And lastly, cosine rule, which is 1 angle and 3 lengths. So clearly here you can see I've got 3 lengths and I've got 1 angle. Everyone happy with cosine rule? As in, everyone happy with why I chose cosine rule? Now, the next thing you need to remember is the formula. Now, do you need to remember it or is it in your formula sheet? Do you need to remember it or is it in your formula sheet? Correct, it is in your formula sheet. But you need to know how to use it though. So I want everyone to go check. Have I written this correctly? Don't just say yes. Have I written this correctly? Awesome. Thank you, Zachariah. Thank you, Ardion. You can do brackets. Yeah, you can do brackets there. Okay, good stuff. Right, awesome. We have to label this correctly first, yeah? So how should I label this? What's the smartest way to label this? There you go. What's the smartest way to label this? Big side gets A. What do you mean by big side though? Okay, what? Like imagine you were explaining this to a novice, yeah? How would you label this triangle? Imagine you explain this to a novice. Go on, Annie. I know you know the answer to this. How would I do this? I always label the angle I've been given what letter? Ooh, are you sure? Can you use the right case? Can you use the right case? So, is it uppercase or lowercase? Basically, the angle I have been given, I always label it. Yeah, you. The angle I've been given, that I always label it capital A. Did everyone catch that? If you set it up like this, the rest is easy peasy. So the angle that you've been given for cosine rule, call it capital A, or the angle you're trying to work out, right? And then what is opposite it? What is opposite the capital A? Lowercase A. Very good. Well done, Josh. Well done, Zachariah. So lowercase a. Fantastic. Okay, so that's A. So we're going to call that A. So the other ones doesn't really matter too much. We're going to call that B. We're going to call that little b. We're going to call that little c. We're going to call that c. Let me know in the chat out of 10 if you understand labeling. Let me know in the chat out of 10 if you understand labeling. So 10 out of 10, 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10. Do we understand it? I need you to understand the labeling, because the labeling, if you flop the labeling, everything goes wrong. Literally. Well done, Hassan. Some serious stuff going on there. Why is there a capital B? Because that is angle B. So do we understand labeling? Please let me know. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Mani. Thank you, Zachariah. Thank you, Ali. Right, okay. So now I substitute into my formula. Just substitute into my formula. Easy. Right? So let's go. Little a, so that's root 73 equals x plus 2 squared plus 2x minus 3 squared. Okay, I've got to move this along. Just moving it along, guys. Just moving it along. Okay. Minus 2 times x plus 2 cos 60. Let me know in the chat if you're happy with the labeling. Oh, sorry. I should have wrote root 73 squared. Sorry, that's what I should have written. Okay. Everyone happy with the labeling? Okay. So now this layer, I'm just going to write it here. So it's going to be 73 equals x squared plus 2x plus 4. Who's happy with that? All I've done is I've expanded this. All I've done is I've expanded this. So x squared. So x times, if you've forgotten, it's x plus 2 and x plus 2. So x times x is x squared. 2 times 2 is 4, and x... No, hold on. Shouldn't that be 4x? 2x. Should be 4x, right? Okay. Right. Can everyone expand the next one? Can everyone expand this one? Let me know in the chat once you've done it. So who got plus 4x squared minus 12x plus 9? And then can everyone... Where'd you get 5? Oh, you simplified it. Good. Great work. Can everyone expand this, please? So these two make 5x squared. And 4x and minus 12x is minus 8x. And 4 plus 9 is 13. And then we've got to minus this whole thing. So x times x is 2x squared. X, that's minus 3x. That's plus 4x. And that's minus 6. Who got that? Plus x. So if I'm going to minus everything, that means that's going to be minus. So minus 2x squared. That's going to be minus x. And that's going to be minus. Who can see what I did? Oh, hold on. Messed something up here. That should be plus. Sorry, minus. Okay, guys, what is cos 60? What is cos 60? What is cos 60? Thank you very much, Manya. Anyone else? What is cos 60 in your calculator? What is it? Who's lost track of what I'm doing? Let me know. So cos 60 in the calculator is a half. So I'm going to go ahead and erase cos 60. And I'm just going to write times by a half. So I can times everything. Well done. You got to times everything by a half. So that's going to be x squared plus half x minus 3. Anyone do that? Let me know. This is turning out to be so long. Right, let's put this on another page. Let me know if I've made any mistakes. So we're minusing the whole thing. If we're minusing the whole thing, what happens to all these terms? What happens to all these terms, guys? We're minusing the whole thing. They all get a minus, right? So minus x squared minus a half x minus plus 6. Okay, so 73 equals 4x squared minus oh, that's supposed to be a one. That's supposed to be 1/3. Sorry, 1.5. That's supposed to be 1.5. My bad. Wait, what was it before? Oh no, it is supposed to be 3. Sorry, it is supposed to be 3. Because I times everything by a half. Guys, if I've lost you, let me know. And so those are gone. Those are gone. What's 13 plus 3? 16. How can I eliminate the half? How can I eliminate the half? Anyone double everything? And then if that's adding, what does it do this side? Go on, what did I miss? Manya, let me know. 104? Anyone get 104? Why do I feel like something's wrong here? Yeah, I can. Is it 114? Yeah, you're right, it is 114. Okay, let's go back a second. That looks like point. So let's see what if anything did go wrong. I times it by half, so that 2x squared got a half, that's minus x squared. That got a half, so that's half, and that got a half, that is 3. Yeah, that makes sense. Have I missed anything? Did you times by 2? No, I times by a half. So I times 2x squared by a half, I times x by a half, I times 6 by a half. Now, right at the end, I times everything by 2. No, but the 2. Ah, so they cancel out. Guys, did anyone spot that? Apart from Manya and apart from Hassan. Did anyone spot that? So you know how there's a 2 right here? I didn't factor it in. And there's a half right here. So what do they do to each other? What do they do to each other? I was testing you all, in some weird way. What do they do to each other? Anyone? They cancel out. Very good. So I'm going to go ahead and just remove that half. And let's continue from here. So everything gets minus. So that's going to be minus 2x squared, minus x, and plus 6. Okay, are we happy with this? What happened there? Everyone happy with that? So 5x squared minus 2x squared is 3x squared, and that's gone. And minus 8x minus x is minus 9. X, those are gone. And 13 plus 6 is 19. And then you bring the 73 over. What's 19 take away 73? 19 take away 73. Minus 54. Good. So 3x squared minus 9x minus 54. 3x squared minus 9x minus 54 equals 0. Is everything divisible by 3? I believe they are. Is that okay, guys? So now I can factorize it. Is this factorizable? 6 times 3. Is it 6 times 3? X is minus 6 and x is plus 3. Where did 54 come from? From here. 19 take away 73. So yeah, that's where it came from. And then, guys, who's happy with this factorizing? Does that work? Minus 9 minus 6 times 3 is 18. Minus 18. Minus 6x plus 3x is minus 3x. So guys, what's the solutions for x? What's the solutions for x? So x is 6 and x is 3 minus 3. But the question is about what? What's the question about? It's about a length, right? It's about a length. So which of these numbers do I pick? Yeah. Thank you for that, Hassan. Very, very insightful. So does that make sense? Yeah, we pick x is 6. Wow, that was a bit long-winded. Okay. Right, that was supposed to be a starter. I know. Go on. Wait. Oh, why? Basically, because we're doing real life maths, we're doing something to do with the length of a triangle. That's where the question came from. It started off as a triangle. We reject the negative value, and we keep the positive value. I know, it would have been an absolute nightmare. So good thing good thing 2 people passed the test. One decided to persevere though in reminding me. Well done, guys. Right, okay, let's move on. Let's very quickly go through quick reminder of another topic which a lot of us forget. Where was it? Yeah, it can't be negative. So you basically pick the positive value. Okay. Everyone got the calculator with them? Okay, let's go. Right, guys. Have a read. Let me know what you do. A cube's volume is increased by 25%. Find the increase in cube's length. Give your answer to 3 significant figures. So a cube's volume is increased by 25%. Find the increase in the cube's length. What would I do here? Are you sure that's the right word you want to use there, Aldion? Actually, no, your suffix is incorrect. Actually, your suffix is non-existent. So maybe if you yeah, there you go. That's a part of it, not the entire answer. If you're confused, let me know. Yeah, sure. Yeah, it is basically. So a cube's volume is increased by 25%. So you have a volume, and that's the volume of the shape. What do I times it by for it to be increased? So here, this is the volume of a cube, and I want to increase it by 25%. So what do I times it by? If I times it by 75, that's... think about it. Like, for example, let's say £100, and I want to increase that by 25%. Don't I times it by 1.25 to get 125? Right? Let me know if that makes sense. So here's the volume of a cube. This is the volume of a cube. We're going to call it V. We're going to times it by 1.25. So do you get 1.25 V? Is that the volume of the new shape? Volume of new shape. Okay. Then it says find the increase in the cube's length. Okay. So how do I work out the volume of any shape? Or of a cube? How do I work out the volume of a cube? Is it length times length times length? Right, good. So essentially, 1.25 V equals what? The length cubed times the difference, right? X cubed. Yeah, the length cubed times the difference. Okay, or you could just take 1.25 and you can, get, so basically just L cubed. So what do you do? How do you work out L? Cube root, what do you get? Did you get like 1 point? I think you square rooted it. Guys, what's this? What's the cube root of 1.25? 1.07? Anyone? One point two five. 1.077. So 1.077. Now, what did it say that we wanted? It said find the increase in the cube's length. So that's the length plus the difference. That's the length plus the difference. So how do I take away the? What do I do to get away, to get the original? I do 1.077. Take away the original, which is 1, and that's 0.077. Correct. Yeah. How do I write that as a percentage? Because remember, this is a multiplier. How do I write 0.077 as a percentage? That's a multiplier. Wait, what are you referring to, Josh? Yeah, you times it by 100. So that's... That was a weird question. Should we do another one similar to it? I think this one you hopefully should be able to get straight away. A cube's length is increased by 12%. Find the increase in the cube's length. Wait, it doesn't say give as a percentage. How else would you give it then? Oh, are you saying can you leave it as 0.007? I think you... Let me think. I don't know. Maybe. Where did I get what? Here's the question, guys. Oh, I got it from cube rooting 1.25. So the cube's length is increased by 12%. So it's going to be 1. No, sorry, the volume times by 1.12. So that's the original that's the original shape. Okay. And that's the 12% added. So 1.12 equals the length cube rooted. So cubed, what's the length then? Pretty much, yeah, Josh, that's exactly what you do. Who got 1.038? And then you take away the original one. And then you times it by 100. Who got 3.8%? No, it's not 3.8%. Wait, what did I do here? Nope, sorry, ignore me. Let's do that again. So you have the cube's length, which is what? It says find the increased volume. So it's already been increased. Look, guys, I just realized I didn't read the question properly. It says a cube's length is increased. Okay? A cube's length. So you have length, area, and volume. My bad. So the length is 1.12. Right? So what would the volume be? If the length is 1.12, what's the volume going to be? Who else did not read that question? Oh, man. What a blunder. Right. So it's going to be, because this volume is 1.12 times 1.12 times 1.12. Let me know in the chat if you understand what I've done here. And you get 1.404. I know. Happens to the best of us. Well done, Shaunav. Well done, all the other people who got it. Right, you are right, Ali. Correct. So therefore, if that's 1.12, the original, take away the 1. So you're going to get 40.4%. Because you're going to times it by 100, aren't you? So if you take away 1, you get 0.404 times it by 100, and you get that. Let me know in the chat if that makes sense. So just be careful, read the question carefully, closely. It should lead you in the right direction. Yeah, you did. Well done. Should we do one more? This time, make sure you read the question, yeah? A circle's area is increased by 5%. Find the increase in the circle's radius. So a circle's area is increased by 1%, for 5%. So area how do you work out area of a circle? Pi r squared. So it's going to be pi r squared times what? 1.05, correct. Then it says find the increase in the circle's radius. What do you do now, guys? Find the increase in the circle's radius. Guys, I've kind of formatted this not in the best way, yeah? I should have written 1.05a because that's the area, right? Would you agree? So technically 1.05a equals what? The difference, right? The difference times, because it's going to be pi r squared, so it's going to be the difference squared pi r squared. Would you agree? So we know this is for the area and we know this is for that. So what are we going to get rid of? So 1.05 take away pi r squared. So it's going to be x squared, right? So what do I do with the x? Who square rooted it? And what do you guys get for x? When you square root 1.05, what do you get? Guys, I think some of us have gone so quiet. What's going on? Are we stuck? Are we confused? What's going on, people? Okay. Right, a lot of people are confused. Can I run it back, guys? Can I run it back? Everyone's getting confused. Okay, they've told us the circle's area is increased by 5%. So the circle's area is increased by 1%. So the area equals pi r squared. So instead of writing pi r squared, I'm going to say that the area times 1.05, right? The area is the new circle. Would you agree? Right. So if that's what we're working with, we're not really interested in the original area. Right? We're not really interested in the original area. We're only interested in the difference. So what do I do with 1.05? Remember, it's been... What do we do with the radius? We square it, right? So if I want to work out x, what's it going to be? Another way you can do it is like this. Sorry, I'm going to about to do it for the third time now. Another way you can do it is like this. Hold on. So let's say, for example, you got 1.05a, right? 1.05a, that's the difference, equals pi r squared times, what do we do with the radius? We always square it, right? So the multiplier is squared. Are these two things the same? So they can go. Right? We always, because they're both area. This is the area of a circle. This is the area of a circle. I'm only interested in the difference. And because it's, I had to square it to get the difference, that's what I want. So I just want x. So the square root is like 1.0, is it 2.5? 2.4. Let me just square root it, guys. 1.024. So how do I get rid of the original? Just get rid of the 1, right? And you know what x is. I mean, you know what the percentage difference is. So get rid of the 1. And so it's 0.024 times by 100, 2.4%. I think I'm going to explain that again on a different lesson. Maybe it might click. I'll explain that again on another lesson. Hopefully it might click. No, we don't have a lesson on Sunday for maths. We did for December. I'm gonna find another way to place it. So I'll let you know once I've rescheduled it. A car's value is decreasing by X% each year. The car's value will decrease by 60% in 6 years. Work out the value of X. Give your answer to 2 decimal places. Okay. How would we tackle this question, guys? This is a lot easier, so hopefully everyone should be clued in for this one. And then make sure you're dropping in some responses, Josh, as well. Let's go. Okay, try yourself, yeah. If a car's value is decreasing by X% each year, the car's value will decrease by 60% in 6 years. Work out the value of X. So, a car's value. How do we usually do this? We usually do 1 plus the percentage, right? If it's a percentage increase. So let's say 0. I don't know. Example 0.2. And then what do? We take it to the power of years. And then we times by amount. Right? These are just example values, by the way. So let me just write that percentage increase. Pretty much, yeah, I think you're right. Okay, so in this case is decrease. So what values am I working with? It's going to be 1 minus a percentage to the power of 6, right? Well, what does that equal? 60% after you times it by 1. So if we got hold on, I think I've lost my way myself. A car's value is decreasing by X% each year. You don't multiply by 0.6. It's not the sixth root of 60. Wait, 100 take away some percent, we'll call it X percent. Yeah. To the power of 6. These are all in percentage, by the way. Right? Times by that amount. And then it says the overall differences. So we don't need that amount. Wait, actually, guys, I've completely lost my way on this question. Any suggestions before we before I have to double down? Use the algebra. I need to try another way. The car's value will decrease by 60% in 6 years. Oh, hold on. If it's gone down by 60, what's the original? What's left? 60%, 40%, right? Does that make sense? So then that means, what's that as a decimal? 0.4. So that means a 0.4 to the power of what? 6. No, sorry, not 0.4 to the power of 6. 0.4. Hold on. I'm doing it. It equals the amount. Hold on. The value to the power of 6. So how do I take this to the other side? I find the 6th root. Someone said it, and I think they did it to the 60. What did you get, guys? The 6th root of 0.4. 0.0858. Let me just double check. Wow, I don't even have this option on my calculator. Okay. I'm gonna trust you guys because I got 3 people saying 0.0858. Okay. So if that's what's left over from the original, what was taken off? What percentage was taken off? 14, right? 14.2? 14.1 something? Yeah. Yo, that was a hard question, you know. That was worded so weird. Guys, I'm gonna look at these questions with a fresh mind on another lesson. Let's change the topic. We'll come back. Okay. Bear with me, guys. Just looking for another question. Yeah, the answer is 14%. Give or take something. Okay, let's go, guys. Something a little bit different. Okay, let's go. So given that 2 to the power of y is 1/8, find y. This is like indices. This is indices. So we know it's a reciprocal, so it's going to be, can you see it's all under 1, right? It's all under 1, so it's going to be 2 to the power of negative y is 8, right? So 2 to the power of what gives me 8? Who got 2 to the power of negative 3? Because basically anything under 1 is the reciprocal. So how do I show a reciprocal with a power? I just put a negative. And then I just ask myself, 2 to the power of what is 8? Alright, this is something we haven't done in a while. So it says ABC is a triangle. M lies on BC such that BM is 4/5 of BC. Express these vectors in terms of x. So let's go with the first one. Can everyone tell me BC, please? If you don't know it, don't worry. I'll show you how. Anne, let me know if you're still watching. So BC. Thank you, Annie. So BC, guys. So where we're trying to go from B to C. So to go from, no, that's not B to C. B to C is B to C. Wait, hold on. You know what, Josh? I empathize with that. Because that weird area question just ruined my trajectory. B to C. So B to C is really just B to A, which is what? What's B to A, guys? Is it y or negative y? We're going in the opposite direction, right? So it's not positive y. It's going to be negative y. And then what's A to C, guys? Very good. Everyone happy with that? So really, another way you could write it is like this. You find the root. So B to C is the same as B to A plus A to C. And then what is B to A? B to A is negative y plus x. Okay, and then you can shift these two around and you can actually write it as x minus y. Okay, everyone happy with that? Let me know, guys, are we all on the same page? We'll end on this question here, so hopefully we can have a bit of an introduction to this. Can you leave it as minus y plus x? Yes, you can. Right, what's B to M? What's B to M? So now they want us to do this one here. I'll use a different color. B to M only. So we don't want the whole journey, we just want that part. Okay, okay. Hopefully this will help. So what fraction is BM of BC? What fraction is BM of BC? Yeah, pretty much, really. What fraction? It's not half. It says it here. BM is 4/5 of BC. Can you see that? So for BM, I just take the answer for BC, which is x minus y, and in front of it, I put a 4/5. And you can leave it like that. Or you could have written 4/5 x minus 4/5 y. Let me know in the chat if you're happy with that. Yeah, I agree, Aldian, I agree. Okay, should we go for the next one? Find A to M. Find A to M. I'm going to let you guys do this one. A to M. So A to M, what's that? Let's get a new root going. So A to M, thank you Hassan, thank you Adion, is A to B plus B to M. Do I have B to M? Thank you Manuel. Do I have B to M? I do, it's right here. So 4/5. Zachariah, let me know if I still got you there. And then A to B is what? A to B is just Y, right? So instead of Y, I can write 4/5Y. Sorry, 5/5Y. Okay, is everyone okay with that? So what's 5/5 take away 4/5? So 4/5x minus 1/5y. Let me know in the chat if you're happy with that. That's it. Leave it as that. Wait, is it not a minus? Is what a minus? Oh, sorry, plus. It's a plus. It's a plus. There you go. Okay, let's go for another one. Right, guys, this is the last question. Yeah, I want everyone to lock in because everyone's been a bit quiet for this one. So these last few questions. So it says find the equation of the line that is perpendicular to 3x plus y equals 8 and passes through the point 1.15. So straight away, if you struggle with these kind of questions, you can just draw it. So I'm drawing a grid. What should I do with this equation, guys? What should I do with this equation? Well done, Ali. That's exactly what I do. Anyone else know? Thank you, Zachariah. That's exactly what I do. I rearrange it. Make y exactly. Put y in the right on one side. So y equals 8 minus 3x. So y equals minus 3x plus 8. Are we good with that? So our line is basically going this way. Yeah, that is going to be 8. And that line is y equals negative 3x plus 8. So it says it passes through 1, 5. So where's 1, 5? 1, 5, probably there. So what does my perpendicular line look like? It goes straight through, right? Who agrees that that's perpendicular? It's not fully perpendicular. Let's make it better. There you go. Right, so that's 1, 5. Guys, if minus 3x is the gradient, what's the gradient of the perpendicular? Thank you, Mania, Yasma, Adian, Ali, well done. Anyone else? So gradient of perpendicular. So to work out the gradient of perpendicular, I just take the value m and I put it under minus 1. So what's the value of m? So it's going to be minus 1 over minus 3. The two negatives cancel out. And so the answer is 1 over 3. Is that okay? So the gradient here is y equals 1/3 x plus c. How do I work out c? How do I work out C? Thank you. Yeah, yes, well, let's go. I think we can all do that. Let's go, guys. Do you just substitute x for 0? No. Remember, you got 1, 5. It passes through the point 1, 5. So it says, and passes to the point 1, 5, yeah. By the way, who's stuck on working out C? Let me know. If you're stuck, let me know. So the equation is y equals 1 over 3x plus c. The coordinates that we're substituting in is 1, 5. That's the x coordinate, that's the y coordinate. So I just got to put in the y coordinate here. So 5 equals 1 over 3 times by 1 plus c. So 5 equals 1/3 plus c. What's c going to be? Who got 4 and 2/3? 4 and 2/3. Because I'm going to take that and take it this way. So 5 minus 1 over 3 equals c. So therefore, 15 over 15? No, 15 over 5. 15 over 3 minus 1 over 3. Who got 14 over 3? I think a bunch of you got that, so well done. So I write the equation y equals 1/3 x plus 14 over 3. Next question, guys. We're going to go a bit over time, yeah? Just a bit. This is the last one. Last question. 81 to the power of x cubed to the power of negative 3 over 4. Last question, guys. Let's end this lesson on a positive. Josh, are you working on this one? Let me know. Just the last question. Manya, let me know if you're working on this one. Zachariah, let me know, guys. Hassan, I feel like you're working on this as well. Am I right? Am I wrong? Let me know. 81 x cubed, x to the power of 8, sorry, to the power of negative 3 over 4. You got to find the fourth root of it. So basically, with this question here, 81 takes the negative power, and x to the 8 takes the negative power. I know. I think everyone was kind of stumped on the similar thing. So first, let's deal with this here. What did everyone get for that? So if you, that's the rooting number. So the fourth root of 81 is what? 3, right? And then we've got the negative reciprocal. So it's going to be 1 over 81 to the power of 3 over 4. And that's going to be 1 over 3 to the power of 3. And who got 1 over 27? So we've done that bit. We got 1 over 27. Now let's do this bit. Now when you have a power to a power, what do you do with the two powers? When you have a power to the power, what do you do with the two powers? It's because of the context. Someone else forgot. Yeah, exactly. You times it, right? So it's going to be 8 multiplied by minus 3 over 4. So 8 over 1. So that's going to be what? Minus 24 divided by 4. Minus 6. Is that okay, guys? So x to the negative 6. No, is it not? I treated it separately. You can simplify it more. Okay, what do you simplify it to? So wait, hold on. Where did the negative go then? Isn't it going to be 27x then to the power of 6? Nah, that power belongs to the x. What do you mean? By the way, guys, let me know if you know where I got the minus 6 from. Let me know if you know where I got the minus 6 from. Yeah, this is the answer. This is actually the answer. It doesn't get any more simplified than that. Oh, you mean like this? Is that what you meant? These two are the same thing. They're the exact same thing. I just wrote it as a coefficient. And you wrote it as everything under 1. What, did you get this? Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? You can write that, yeah. Yeah, you can definitely write that. In fact, yeah, I agree with you. I think this is a better way of writing it. Yeah. But if you wrote this, you wouldn't have got it wrong. I just left it as a coefficient. Yeah, I think I would actually agree with you. I think what you've done is better. Okay, so let's move on. Did I just say let's move on? Let's stop there. Guys, let me know in the chat. Hopefully that was quite a good little sort of exercise there in terms of exam paper questions. Next lesson, again, we're going to be working through papers, but also kind of just tackling any topic areas where we're struggling or where we've got gaps. Guys, can I just ask everyone before next lesson, can you submit a few topics where you want me to work on? We've got 4.5 months now, so really in this group we would have covered most of the topics, and if we haven't, then this is the time to kind of get through it. Did everyone catch that? So I'm going to give you until in fact, let me ask you guys, do you prefer every lesson for me to just go through a mix of exam questions?